year, an increase of 3% over 2017. To attract and keep talent, employers said they will offer greater perks like signing bonuses, more paid time off, casual dress, gym memberships, and the ability to work remotely. Higher wages aren't limited to high-end positions. The survey found 71% of companies feel they need to pay entry-level workers more because of tight talent pools. More than a fifth of employees told pollsters they expect to find a new job before the end of the year. In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, "Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic." Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com. Reuters reports a federal judge on Friday ruled that the Trump administration must fully restore a program that protects from deportation some young immigrants who were brought to the United States as children in violation of immigration laws, including the acceptance of new applications for the program. District Judge John Bates in Washington, D.C. said he would stay Friday's order, however, until August 23rd to give the administration time to decide whether to appeal. Bates first issued a ruling in April ordering the federal government to continue the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, including taking applications. He stayed that ruling for 90 days to give the government time to better explain why the program should be ended. On Friday, Bates said that he would not revise his previous ruling because the arguments from the Trump administration did not override his concerns. Under DACA, roughly 700,000 young adults, often referred to as dreamers, were protected from deportation and given work permits for 2-year periods, after which they must reapply to the program. The program was created in 2012 under former President Barack Obama. Two other federal courts in California and New York had previously ordered that DACA remain in place while litigation challenging Trump's decision to end it continued. Those rulings only require the government to process DACA renewals, not new applications. Another lawsuit in a Texas federal court is seeking to end DACA. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
This week, badly shaken researchers reported observing an osprey stalking, killing, and devouring an adult male lion in what is being called a massive food chain shakeup. Confirmation of the 3-pound marine bird consuming the 400-pound feline has biologists scrambling to determine the new predator-prey connections between the planet's billions of organisms.
We seem to be experiencing some sort of cross-species dietary free-for-all.
Scientists say that the killing of the healthy, full-grown lion by a typical osprey specimen has lent credibility to recent reports of a deer seen grazing on a nest of squirrels in Wisconsin, as well as a claim made by a group of Japanese fishermen who say they witnessed 300 million krill devouring a 40-ton humpback whale. In other news, NASA acquires the moon for an upcoming Kennedy Space Center exhibit. A radio DJ invites the whole town to some bullshit, and assuming the many universes theory of quantum mechanics is accurate, the review you've just seen will remain relevant in another reality for all eternity. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Take control of the airwaves here. Live Saturday edition of the program. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have Skype if you want to Skype into the show. At Skype username lrn.fm. Also, we have the Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm, where somebody was complaining last night, a longtime supporter and listener.
Somebody was complaining?
We didn't talk enough about Glenn Jacobs last night. We did mention at the beginning of the show and talk about, this might be something we'll cover, and we just never got to it. Like a lot of times on Free Talk Live, we start the show with good intentions of covering some sort of story, but then we just don't get to it because the show's an open phone show. We can go any direction that you want to go, and if there's something in the news that you think is worth talking about, or just some sort of issue you've got that you want to talk about, maybe it's a personal thing, anything goes here on Free Talk Live. The toll-free number, again, 855-450-FREE like freedom. Who is Glenn Jacobs? Well, wrestling fans in the audience certainly know that name. He is a longtime WWE superstar. His stage name there is Kane. And
yeah, I think he's had more than one. But
I think so, yeah. But that's
Kane's
the one
big
he's
name.
noteworthy for. He's a physically huge guy. I mean, he is just a monstrous man. And I know this because we've actually met Glenn on more than one occasion.
Yeah, multiple occasions.
He used to come up here to New Hampshire as part of the Free State Project events that they had, like the Liberty Forum, several years back, many years ago.
He's gone by Angus King, Bruiser, Mastino, Christmas Creature, Diesel, Doomsday,
Christmas
Isaac,
Creature.
Yankum, DDS.
Oh, yeah, the dentist guy. Yeah.
Mike, Unabomb, and Kane.
Yeah. So
he's
long
billed
career.
as 7 feet tall, but he's, I think, closer to like 6'9".
I think he's in his 50s now too. So he's he's getting up there. Still old enough to wrestle. He's still active with WWE. 6'8", 300 pound. I mean, he is a behemoth.
Yeah,
he's a man, big man. And we've had the pleasure of talking with him, not just on the air, but also off the air and in real life.
Yeah, we had breakfast with him one time. That was nice.
We had breakfast with him out at the Liberty Forum.
He ate a normal meal too.
Yep. He came here to Keene and had lunch with us at Local Burger several years ago.
Yep, that's right.
And a longtime listener of the show and somebody who is a very principled libertarian. Now, I don't know how much of this news coverage that he's getting, and he's getting a lot. Your wife was actually here the other day, Mark, dropping something off or picking something up. I'm not sure what. But she commented as she was pulling away that they were talking about him on NPR.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, okay, he's really making a splash with these headlines. And it's because he's a celebrity who got elected, right? I mean, it was a big deal when Jesse Ventura got elected to governor in Minnesota. But that was governor. This is mayor in a town in Tennessee. And honestly, I don't even know what the town is. I haven't even looked.
It's Knox County.
Far. Can you become a mayor of an entire county?
That was the question I had, but I can tell you over and over again, the news was reported as Knox County.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it says it right here, Knox County mayoral race. And from what Daryl told me last night, who is a big fan of wrestling, one of our co-hosts, he says Glenn Jacobs won by like 2-1. So it was just he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, big name recognition.
Yeah, so kudos to Glenn Jacobs, friend of the show, listener of Free Talk Live. We got a promo that runs that where Glenn actually talks about how we helped him, by listening to the show, solidify his libertarian viewpoints.
A couple of ideas or something specifically that we addressed at some point. Not us, but I mean, they get brought up in articles.
Somebody on
we
the
talk
show,
about them. Yeah,
And he did his own thing for a while. He did a podcast.
He did.
Which I don't know I don't know if many people know about this, and I don't know how easy it would be to find online even these days. It was called The Adventures of Citizen X, where he basically took different issues and just did the most libertarian treatise that you possibly could on whatever that issue was.
Very matter of fact, not emotional, just talking about the issues. I really, I found it useful. I actually burned it to a CD and kept it.
Yeah, I think I've got the archives zipped up somewhere on some hard drive. If the FBI didn't take it away, I'm pretty sure I've got them here. But really principled guy, and what an honor to know the guy. And we can say we knew him when he was just a wrestler, just a wrestling superstar.
Yeah, just a wrestling superstar. I wonder to myself on the local level what value it is to have libertarians in office. So, a mayor is going to be concerned with making sure the street lights are working, the potholes are filled, and these kind of things. I mean, it's not a lot of philosophy, whereas
it depends. Is it a strong mayor?
More.
Because like here in
I couldn't answer.
Here in Keene, where we live in New Hampshire, which is a little city, if you can even call it that. It's technically a city legally, but it's 23,000 population. The mayor in Keene is a very weak mayor position, meaning that the mayor can only cast a tie-breaking vote here in Keene. So most of the time, all the mayor does is just preside over the city council meetings.
Yeah, different mayors are different. Yeah.
Right, he kind of runs the meeting. He can assign, like at the beginning of a city council term, the mayor can assign the city councilors and say, you, Mr. Councilor Edge, you will be on this committee. And then you, Councilor XYZ, you'll be on committee A, B, and C. So the mayor can do those things, but otherwise he's basically a glorified ribbon cutter. Whereas in other places, mayors do have the ability to vote and propose legislation and things like that.
Yeah,
so,
they're boss hog in some places.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a good question. We could talk more about that. Of course, your calls, your thoughts are welcome. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. And one thing he could certainly do, given how, he's got the star power, he can certainly use the mayor's office as a pulpit. I mean, he can he can express the ideas of liberty to people. He can talk about reducing taxes and maybe even, be a stick in the mud to try to stop the city council from bringing on more government. And who knows? I don't know. And I'd emailed him yesterday and asked him if he wanted to come on the show. I haven't heard back. So I imagine he's loaded with interview requests and probably hasn't had much time to check emails. Plus, he's still a wrestler, so he's going to be doing both jobs, I guess.
Yep, husband, father, all those things, and keeps you rather busy.
So anyway, let's continue here. We'll take your calls, your thoughts. It doesn't have to be about Glenn Jacobs, who
Well,
is
one
the
thought
winner.
I had on it is that it's kind of interesting that he shows that it doesn't matter, like your philosophy is probably less important than name recognition.
No doubt.
Right? Like, so name recognition is important. Your party being on the ballot and being recognized. So, if he ran as a libertarian for mayor, and I don't even know if this
He might have won if he run as a libertarian.
He might have, but running.
It is a Republican town, though, so it's sort of expected that the Republican was going to win. There was kind of no real doubt that once he got through the primary.
So it was a partisan race then?
I presume.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not intimately familiar with the exact
Well, did he
goings
get through a
on.
primary?
He got through a Republican primary.
Then that sounds like it was a partisan
Probably
race.
is.
I guess the important things for winning appear to be name recognition and being part of a major party, is what I hear out of this.
Well, that's why, the only thing I could wish differently about this would be that he did it in New Hampshire. Unfortunately,
I would. That'd be awesome.
He was planning to move up here as part of the New Hampshire freedom migration, but his wife just wasn't willing to do it.
Well, there's they have grandchildren down there, I believe.
Whatever the reason, she just wasn't willing to do it, so it didn't pan out. So they stuck down there. And
family is
and he
one of
won
the big
down there.
reasons people don't want to move, and that makes perfectly good sense to me.
It does. On the other hand, you can bring your family to New Hampshire with you.
If my wife wanted to move to Florida and he was adamant about it, it's probably what would happen to me.
Yeah, I understand. Of course, New Hampshire is one of the best places to raise a family, so it would be a smart move to actually move your family to New Hampshire instead. If you're a libertarian, if you're somebody who believes in freedom and liberty and the non-aggression principle, this really is the migration here. It's unprecedented. So anyway, kudos to Glenn Jacobs. There's a full article about his win over at knoxnews.com, but I don't know if it's really worth getting into the details. He won. That's all you need to know. So the first really libertarian mayor in the United States. Has this been done before? Has there ever been a libertarian mayor elected? I know he ran as a Republican, but the dude is incredibly principled libertarian, like Ron Paul level principles.
Yep.
Toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. It's the live Saturday edition of Free Talk Live.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. AnyPay.global.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, Dan Pilla.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. The Skype username is LRN.FM, and we've got the Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm with you tonight. Ian here.
And Mark.
By the way, I want you to know about Bitcoin.com. Actually, did an interview today on our main affiliate, WLOB. I was on their afternoon show. Talked about cryptocurrency.
When you say Maine, you mean the state.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. WLOB in Portland, Maine. Great long-time talk radio station there on FM. And talked to them about cryptocurrency. And the questions were pretty brand new. Like, the guys were interested, but they didn't really know much at all about crypto. So there's still a lot of people out there who haven't taken the time to even really learn the basics about Bitcoin. And it's easy to do. You just go to bitcoin.com and get started there. They've got a Bitcoin Academy that you can go through, and it'll take you through
videos that make it as easy as they possibly could make it for you.
Do they have videos there? I know I've seen an animated kind of frames, but I don't know if it was like a YouTube or anything like that. I don't recall it being an actual video. But
if it's animated, it's a video, right?
No, not really, because there's animation you can just put on a web page. That's not a video.
It's a GIF.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, you go and you can go through their Bitcoin Academy there and learn the basics about cryptocurrency. There is a little bit of a learning curve, admittedly. It's a pretty new concept, the idea of a decentralized currency that's not issued by a government or a bank. Go and start over at Bitcoin.com. And once you're ready to jump in a little bit deeper, maybe get your first Bitcoin BTC or the newer Bitcoin Cash, which just celebrated its first anniversary, by the way, on August 1st. So happy birthday, Bitcoin Cash. But you can get your first Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash through Bitcoin.com. They can also hook you up with a Bitcoin mining pool if you want to get into the mining side of the operations. And you can follow the latest news headlines there as well over at news.bitcoin.com.
A lot of experts believe that a Bitcoin ETF, exchange-traded fund, is on the horizon in the near future.
Oh, I heard they got turned down again.
Well,
the Winklevoss twins.
Let's not forget, the Winklevoss twins did, but there's a lot of people trying for this, and that's how laws work, right? You keep trying until you get something through. Yeah. So just because the first two proposals didn't work doesn't mean that it's never going through. And
got to grease more palms.
The experts are predicting that this is going to go through this year.
And that could do a good thing for the price, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think skyrocket might be the word that we use. And
it certainly skyrocketed last year toward the end of the year, so if we see the same thing happen this year, that'd be pretty nice.
Could be. It's difficult to know how these patterns are going to work.
We don't know what's going to happen, or if there are patterns.
Right, who knows what these patterns are, yeah.
So go to Bitcoin.com, get started there. As we go to your calls and thoughts, John is up first, listening in Dover to WDOV in Delaware. Hey, John.
What's happening, fellas? I hear you guys are, hey, guys. Yeah, I know. I heard you're getting into a little bit of conversation about wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan from the 80s, man, in the 90s, Hulk Hogan, Bobby the Brain Eaton, JYD. But that's not why I called. I actually had a question, kind of. I was listening to Clyde Lewis last night, and I don't know if you guys know who Clyde Lewis is.
I've never heard the show, but I've heard of it. He is he's kind of like the competitor to Art Bell, or I know Art Bell's dead, but he's like the competitor to Coast to Coast.
Yeah,
he does
his show is basically, the competitor to Coast to Coast. It comes on right before here in Dover. So anyhow, he was doing one of his shows. It's kind of like, ghosts and aliens and all that. Well, last night's deal was about the apocalypse coming and all this crazy stuff. And, part of his hypothesis as to the apocalypse being here was that, civil war and strife's going to happen in the country.
Somebody's always got civil war on the table. All right.
It's always civil war. So then he started getting more into it, and he predicted that it may start today. And this was last night's show, like I said. And he said the way it's going to start is there's going to be a problem over in, I guess it was Portland, Oregon, where Antifa was supposed to meet up today and I guess rebel against some other far-right Christian group that's led by some...
Patriot Prayer Group.
You got it, man. And so I heard him interviewing this guy who was supposedly the leader of the Patriot Prayer Group.
Okay.
And I didn't hear anything being said about them being a racist group per se, but I believe I did hear the gentleman that was being interviewed on last night's show get interviewed on NPR News Radio about 2 months back and admitted he was a racist. And I think if I remember the show correct, I don't really listen to NPR that often, but it caught my ear. I thought he apologized to the guy on the radio because supposedly he was plucked out at another rally by Antifa and they beat him up real bad. So
just to see if I'm following you here, John, you're saying the guy who leads the prayer group has admitted to being a racist or isn't a racist?
I think the guy admitted to being a racist. I think he's a known racist. Okay. I could have swore you guys had spoke about this guy on one of your shows a few months back, but it doesn't quite ring a bell.
It sounds kind of
the guy's name
familiar.
Well, there was one guy that Antifa was coming to a Boston free speech rally over, and at this point, I don't believe anyone is a racist until they come to me and they say, I'm a racist. Right? Because the term gets thrown around.
Man, I get it.
Right. Either everybody's a racist and it's not that important, or only the most racist of racist people? Because if you just throw the term around, every white person's a racist, which seems to be what we're being told these days, then it's not a very useful term.
Well, especially on NPR News and other broadcasts as such. I mean, the president's supposedly a rapist. I mean, we got congressmen that are supposed.
Wait, is the president supposedly a rapist or a racist? I couldn't understand what you said.
It doesn't matter these days.
No, wait.
Yeah,
so what I want to know is where
maybe they'd accuse him of both. Why not? Right? I said racist. I'm sorry about that.
Well, where are you going with this? I mean, is it obviously we don't know who this guy is, so we don't have any opinion on whether or not he's a racist. I want to know
if you guys heard anything about there being some huge riot in Portland today.
Yeah, the news is talking about it. Look, if there's a civil war, I sincerely hope one of the sides is Antifa, because it's going to be short. I mean, what do they got? Wooden sticks and shields? I mean,
sure. I think. Are they communist, Antifa? What's the deal with those guys anyway?
That's the start of it all. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of satellite people that are less so. But all the pictures I see seem to be people who are long on communist philosophy, short on working at a job, and I color me highly unconcerned.
Sure. The direction I was going with the call, gentlemen, is that this country right now, it's the craziest I've seen it in the 40 years I've lived on it, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on that I've never seen before with politics and everything else.
Well, we do live in interesting times. That is definitely for sure. John, thanks for bringing it to our attention. I appreciate it. I did pull up a story here about the rally, and apparently cops set off flashbangs, looks like.
Yeah, I think that anybody who thinks that somehow America is going to be brought together, brought together, like they're just living in a fantasy world. The left and the right are going different directions.
Didn't that happen after 9/11? Wasn't everybody feeling all united?
Yeah, they were briefly.
And that didn't last very long.
Not long.
Because you know what? People are different.
I sincerely hope we don't have another 9/11.
More coming up. Free Talk Live.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Angie's List has collected millions of verified reviews of local home service providers, and now they're free for everyone to read. Angie's List makes it easy for you to find top-quality service providers in your area for any type of home project. Search for a great pro in your area, or let Angie's List instantly match you to a few who can do the job. To get the most reviews from real customers, all for free, go to angieslist.com today.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Never, ever send a follow-up email asking, "Did you get my email?" Email 101. If it didn't bounce back undeliverable, it got where you sent it. And avoid transmedia pestering, like calling to ask, "Did you get my email?" or emailing to say, "I left you a voicemail." If your emails and voicemails aren't being acknowledged, your problem isn't technology, it's technique. Is your message concise and understandable? Have you boiled it down to seem as relevant as possible to the recipient? In other words, is it the opposite of spam or junk mail? All of this really matters if you're a job seeker. But even if you're not, with money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype. And the Skype username is LRN.FM. Here tonight, it's Ian.
And Mark.
Cryptocurrencies. Man, there sure are a lot of them. I was just on the CoinMarketCap today. That's a website where you can go and kind of compare different cryptocurrencies. Of course, Bitcoin is number one. It's the dominant crypto in the world. But there are some other really interesting cryptos worth looking at that are doing things differently than Bitcoin. And Zencash is one of them. And the reason why you ought to take a close look, first of all, if you're a voluntarist, if you're a libertarian, if you're an anarcho-capitalist, if you're somebody who cares about freedom, the people who created Zencash, they think like you do. They actually wrote the white paper to include information about voluntarism.
Yep.
So these people are principled libertarians who created Zencash, and they also programmed it with some of the best technology out there, like zero-knowledge anonymity. So if you care about privacy, you also need to be taking a close look at Zencash. Go over to Zencash.com. They've got their official Zencash wallet available. It's Linux, Mac, Windows, Android devices. You can grab the Zencash official wallet there. If you're stuck on an iOS device, you can still grab like Koinomi, and that has a Zencash option, although they don't let you send the private send with Koinomi, so keep that in mind. Zencash.com. Go there. You'll learn more about the crypto and what they've got on the horizon. Like, apparently, Daryl told me they've now rolled out their supernodes.
Yes, they have.
Which will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure.
So these supernodes, not only can you get paid by mining cryptocurrency, but you can get paid with these supernodes and the secure nodes and these sorts of things.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
And they have over 13,000 secure nodes today.
Right, but the supernodes, they don't have nearly as many.
Right.
If you get in on the ground floor, you get paid a lot.
Okay, I'm actually meant to look into that because I did turn a bunch of Ethereum into Zencash thinking, you know what, I don't know about this Ether stuff. I feel like Zencash is more interesting, so I made the
Shouldn't make
shift.
emotional choices like that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not an investor, Mark, so
I know.
I don't.
That's why you should talk to me before you do these things.
I don't. Yeah, whatever.
When you feel like zigging, you probably should zag, but.
Yeah,
whatever.
Well, I don't know. I'd heard about
Zencash is a great investment. I don't know if Ether would have been the direction I would have gone at this point.
Yeah,
but
well, no. So what I said was I turned Ether into Zencash.
Right, I understand.
So anyway, it was after I know what it was. It was after we had the Zencash guys on.
They're great.
They had there had been kind of like an attack against Zencash by some hacker types, and they did an amazing job of getting out in front of it and really answering some tough questions.
Handled it.
They handled it really well. So I was so impressed with that. I thought, you know what? I ought to get a little bit more Zencash. Zencash.com. Go there, learn more. Let's go to Dodger. He's in Michigan. Dodger, you're on Free Talk Live on the live Saturday edition. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, if I can give a Glenn Jacobs plug, since you guys brought him up, because it was actually one of his talks that actually made me realize exactly what currency was, and it was one of his talks on Austrian economics.
Yeah, the man's brilliant.
Where did you hear him speak on that?
I mean, literally just go on YouTube, plug in Glenn Jacobs, Austrian economics, and he gives this fantastic speech about how currency and money is important, and he breaks it down as to, if somebody, all they're essentially currency is just a means of exchange.
That's right.
It's really not a true, I guess, determination of wealth, because wealth is
correct.
what a person can actually produce.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Well, wealth is more than that. I mean, wealth is like the sum value of all of the things that you have and your ability to produce. And
I like the back of the
stuff.
napkin definition of wealth, which is how long you can go without working. Basically, is
that's a good way to measure it.
Way to define your wealth.
Really, he starts out this talk. I mean, this is pretty much, and I was a brand new libertarian. I heard this several years ago, and it pretty much introduced me to Austrian economics, which is you can't predict what people are going to do, and it also gives the importance of a means of exchange, which is currency or money.
Right.
He explains how money and currency are not the same thing, and then he continues on and explains the fractional reserve system that we have today, which a lot of people don't understand.
Okay,
and he
I'm
breaks
not
it down
familiar.
in
Before you go on,
simple-
before you go on, what's the difference between money and currency? That one I can't say I know the answer to that.
For example, it's not very easy for me to take physical money such as gold or silver down and trade it for my groceries at the grocery store, and that's the difference between money and currency.
You're saying,
as far as my understanding
you're saying currency is something that is actively exchanged, but money could be something that has value but isn't actively exchanged as a currency?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard that discrepancy before.
It's essentially, and I've heard the argument from other people talking that there's essentially currency is just the availability to exchange money, and money.
I think you might be wrong on this one. I mean, if you go by the dictionary definition,
I could be wrong based on a speech, because it's been a couple years since I've heard it, but the dude is principled.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And I just wanted to say it kind of explained, broke it down how currency needs to exist, but I mean, and he breaks it
It's
down
important because people need to have something that's universal, because the old barter system is not a good way of exchanging. It's a fairly ancient way of exchanging. You may not have the coconuts that I need, and you may not want the chickens that I have. So barter, in a lot of cases, wouldn't work out. You go by the dictionary definition of money, number 1 here at dictionary.com, any circulating medium of exchange. That's by definition currency.
Okay.
So it's basically a synonym for that. But anyway,
I'm reading at shiftgold.com, and it says if you look up the words currency and money in a thesaurus, each word will probably be listed as a suitable linguistic substitution for the other. But
I'm sorry.
No. So there's a distinction made in Austrian economics, especially by the gold bugs, between currency and money. And I've heard it explained multiple times, but I couldn't. I could read this for you.
I'm just curious,
but it's not short.
Okay. Is it like super technical?
It's pretty technical. Yeah.
Okay. So you can't really sum it up then, and
I'll do my best in the next segment.
All right. Hey, Dodger, any other comments? Go ahead.
No, I just highly recommend, because he breaks it down in a very simplistic way. He's actually in Tennessee in one of his home places, and he's breaking it down, and he broke it down for me exactly what an economy should be. So thank you.
Hey, Dodger,
thank
thanks
you
for
letting me plug
yes,
Glenn
sir.
Jacobs.
Glenn is a great guy, as we said at the beginning of the show. Glenn Jacobs won overwhelmingly his election for mayor in Knox County, Tennessee.
I think it's important to point out that the changes that have occurred throughout the decades, centuries in money have now allowed governments to use it as a manipulative tool for people. So essentially, it's a remote control device for society because they can issue it. They can pull it back in. They can create inflation, deflation with the stroke of a pen or the strike of a computer key, whatever it is that they wish to do. They can make that happen. And then we, all the little mice in the maze, we go about dealing with a world where they just keep on tipping it and making it so that their friends win and their enemies lose and these sorts of things. So that's the real disadvantage of what we call fiat currency. That's currency that's backed by nothing, or the full faith and credit of the United States government, or whatever cock and bull story they're trying to feed you at any given time. There was a time when currency was attached to gold and silver, and the government couldn't then issue more. They did have things like fractional reserve banking, which allowed banks to hold, 1/9 of what they loaned out, which is, of course, just a lie, basically. So the idea that you can loan out $9,000 when you have $1,000 in reserves.
Only government can allow you to do something like that.
Because it's lying otherwise.
All right, there's more on the way here. And, of course, the big question is Glenn Jacobs, going to move on to a different political seat after mayor? Maybe president?
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Have you had credit challenges, divorce, bankruptcy, or just haven't established your credit yet? If so, getting a decent car loan can be tough. The good news is that there is a place where you can get a car loan at a fair price, regardless of your credit situation. Auto Loan Express can make it happen now when you visit newcar99.com. Here's the deal. If you have a regular job, then there's no reason to keep taking the bus or repairing that old junker. Go to newcar99.com today and fill out our simple online application. We accept over 99% of applicants and can get you behind the wheel of your new car with just a few strokes of your keyboard. No hassles, no third degree. Just fill out the simple online application and start shopping for your next car. So when you're ready to get on the road with your new car loan, visit us online at newcar99.com, where we accept 99% of all applications. newcar99.com. If you have a job, then you qualify. Here's to you and your new car. Visit newcar99.com. newcar99.com.
Free Talk Live.
If I were a parent, and I am not, Mark, you are, I am not, but if I were a parent, then I would be teaching my kids the difference between right and wrong based on whether or not people get hurt, not whether or not some elected official has written some words down on a piece of paper and deemed something to be illegal. There have been so many things over the history of time that have been labeled as illegal.
It's legal. It was legal to shoot engines in this country. Did that make it right? Legal and illegal, right and wrong, these things do not correspond here in America.
They rarely correspond as a matter of fact.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Now, there are some things that are illegal that are absolutely wrong, like murder or arson or destruction of property or stealing.
It's also illegal to not pay taxes to the federal government. Is that wrong? Absolutely not.
That's
it is
heroic.
Right to keep the money that you earn.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. We're here in the live Saturday edition of the program. As always, it's open phones for you. You can take control of the airwaves. Lots of people excited about Glenn Jacobs, the WWE superstar, wrestling superstar, who he's also a movie actor. He's been in a variety of low-budget kind of B-movie, horror movies, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the
so
wrestling guys tend to get in those movies.
Yep, you might know him from some of those. And, of course, there's a lot of speculation out there about The Rock, who is obviously a much larger movie star. He's been in a bunch of major motion pictures, and rumor has it The Rock is a Democrat that may be considering a run for president coming up in 2020 to challenge Donald Trump. Now, wouldn't it be interesting if Glenn Jacobs decided to make a presidential run and it became The Rock versus Glenn Jacobs for president of the United States?
It seems unlikely that would occur.
Yeah, but it was also unlikely that Donald Trump would become president of the United States.
Well, he didn't win the straight vote, but he did win through Electoral College. Yes, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
That,
nobody saw that coming, right?
I saw him as the
they didn't see
nominee.
him winning the primary, and they didn't see him.
Who is they?
People in general. I don't think people believed it was possible.
I told you that when I drove to the polls, that since Rand Paul had dropped out that weekend here in New Hampshire, the first primary election in the whole shebang, right after Iowa's caucus, that I put my chip, because I didn't have anybody to vote for.
Yeah.
So I just voted knowing my one vote isn't going to... Hold on, you said nobody knew, and I'm just saying I believe that Donald Trump was going to win the Republican primary, and I bet on it by voting, and I was correct.
I think it took a lot of people by surprise, though. I don't think people believed that a television reality star could become the president of the United States, because it's just so, idiocracy-like. It is just so much like the art that has criticized the politics here. It's amazing. And it has been a very entertaining presidency so far. I mean, I will give him kudos for, at the very least, giving us something to talk about.
You and your fake news.
What are you talking about?
You. Fake news.
Fake news?
Your fake news.
What do you mean?
Donald Trump, huge.
I'm not a news guy. I'm a talk show host. So anyway, open phones here as always. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. So, the big question is, what's the 2020 election going to look like? I was trying to figure out what the mayoral term is there in Knox County, and I've yet to actually discern that. So I'm not sure if it's 2 years or 4 years.
Did you want to know the difference between currency and money?
Oh, yeah. You said you looked up a definition from Austrian economists. Now, if you go to the dictionary...
This is from SchiffGold.com, Peter Schiff.
Who is supposedly an Austrian economist, correct?
He's certainly Austrian-leaning. I don't know if he's gotten a degree or anything.
All right. I thought that's what you said it was. It was an Austrian
The
definition.
Austrians and the gold bugs tend to define currency and money differently. So basically,
what's the difference?
Currency is a...
Because the dictionary says they're synonyms.
Yeah. Currency is issued by the government. Money is essentially gold or gold-backed currency.
So they would, and of course, Schiff is somebody who doesn't consider cryptocurrency to be a real thing or whatever. He's very critical of cryptocurrency.
He's been changing over time, and the cryptocurrency.
I heard he had a debate recently with. I didn't see it, mind you. I just heard he had a debate with former listener and supporter of Free Talk Live, Eric Voorhees, who is the founder of Shapeshift.io, which is a very popular website that allows people to take their crypto, like say Bitcoin, and then turn it into other types of cryptocurrency like Dash or Bitcoin Cash. I heard that they had a debate and that Eric Voorhees just cleaned his clock.
Well,
because Schiff is not in favor of crypto.
I didn't see the debate, and I couldn't speak to that. It was long. I've seen it on my feed, but I'm just like, I don't have 2 hours for this.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are you going to get out of it? You already know that Schiff's against crypto. Voorhees is in favor of it. Voorhees is
there's different ways to rate a debate, right? So you and I could sit through a debate, and we'd say, Eric won. Well, the reason we'd think Eric won was because we already agreed with him.
Right, the people who agree with Schiff would say Schiff won.
Right. The difference is when it comes to a debate, what you do is you take a poll beforehand. What's people's opinion on X?
Yeah.
And then you take their opinion afterwards and see whether their minds have been changed.
Right. So I don't know.
So, but once people know that system is in play, then they start lying about their positions ahead of time in order to, there's no good way to say somebody won or lost a debate.
So if you want, we can continue on the economics here, because I've got a story about Venezuela. You want to talk about failed money? You want to talk about a failed currency, because I don't agree necessarily that currency is issued by the government. Clearly, cryptocurrencies are not issued by governments. In fact, that's what makes cryptocurrencies great, is they're not issued by governments, with the exception of one of them. And there is one that's supposedly going to be issued by the Venezuelan government, although they continue to drag their feet and change their plans, and so far it doesn't appear as though they've actually issued the Petro in any kind of way that anybody can get their hands on.
The Petro is a cryptocurrency that's going to be released by Venezuela, that will be backed by a certain amount of oil per unit or whatever.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be released in February. So 6 months ago.
Right. I can tell you this, that there are companies that will release a cryptocurrency for you within a week. So the idea that they can't release the Petro now is pretty ludicrous.
Oh, of course. But they're the government. And so, governments are never on time. Governments are always over budget.
All they've got to do is release an ERC-20 token and control the amount of, oil that they have versus the tokens that are in existence, and then
Easier said than done for them, at least.
Yeah.
But now there's news, a big
because
headline.
Government means failing and getting more funding.
That's right. And in this case, there's finally an admission. This is an amazing headline, which I couldn't believe actually is real, but it's real. This is the AFP reporting that in Caracas, under fire, Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro admitted his economic model has, quote, failed, unquote, in the wake of food and medicine shortages and public service paralysis, such as Tuesday's power failure that affected 80% of Caracas. Quote, the production models we've tried so far have failed, and the responsibility is ours, mine and yours, Maduro told his...
Wait a minute, how did it be my fault now?
Maduro told this to his party Congress.
I see.
As Venezuela looks to tackle chronic inflation, the International Monetary Fund predicted would reach...
When you have a strongman leader like Maduro, it's not the party members' fault because they can't control the guy. I mean, this is like Stalin saying to the Politburo, this is I share the responsibility with you. Well, no, the guy gives 17-hour speeches and everybody has to listen because they'll have their head... they'll end up at a gulag. They'll have their head chopped off. Whatever, they'll be out of power. They'll lose something. So they have to pretend like this guy's a genius. No, it's Maduro's fault.
No, I don't think you can just put it on this one guy. I mean, he has a party and they are behind him. I mean, they're not everybody in Venezuela is anti-socialist or anti the current ruling party.
I'm not claiming that they are
established rule.
What these people are is they're attracted to power.
Yeah.
And the way to be in power in the Maduro administration is to talk about how socialism works and how you can make socialism work.
Let's go to the phones. We can talk more about what's going on in Venezuela, because this is the first time Maduro has admitted any kind of fault for the failures over there in Venezuela. But what's his plan now? We'll get into that here in a moment. Mark is on the line listening to WVBG in Mississippi. Hey, Mark.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great. What's on your mind tonight?
The Iraq. I don't think he'd get anywhere as the president. You know, the difference between he and Trump is Trump actually accomplished something in his life. He was a businessman, had managed people and turned projects, and not to demean the Rock, but all he's ever done is really market himself.
Well, I mean, an entertainment career is a pretty big deal. Let's not forget that the vast majority of Americans aren't voting for somebody who's going to be good at the job. They're voting for somebody that they like for whatever reason. So when you step in there with that kind of name recognition, you're in pretty good shape. The people that talk about Trump and talk about him badly say, well, everything every business he's touched has turned to crap. So, whatever.
Well, how does he get to be a billionaire?
I didn't ask, but he could have inherited it. I have no idea.
I heard he inherited some stuff from his daddy, but I don't know.
I haven't investigated this. He certainly has inherited something from his father, but I don't know how much.
He didn't inherit $10 billion, though. But the other thing you said...
Well, we don't know what he has because he won't even he won't give his tax returns.
Good for him.
I'm not saying that he should give his tax returns, but I don't know what Donald Trump has other than what Donald Trump says, and his relationship to the truth appears to be situational.
Hey, Mark, I don't know if you had more to share. If you do, hang on. We'll bring you back coming up here in the top of the hour. So stick with us if you want.
Thanks.
More with Mark in Mississippi. He's tuned in to WVBG there in Vicksburg. Your toll-free number for you to dial in here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. What does the socialist president of Venezuela have to say for himself? We got more of that coming up, too. Free Talk Live.
Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
Get relief for your neck or back pain when you search Amazon for Sunshine Pillows, heating wraps, and pads, often listed as an Amazon choice.
Why take another pill?
Now, from Sunny Bay and by customer demand, we introduce our extra long neck heating wrap, a complete wrap, wide and hands-free, and brings fast relief to those who suffer from neck or back pain.
You can easily find Sunshine Pillows on Amazon.
Or search Amazon for our new Sunny Bay disposable heat pads. Or look for Sunny Bay heated neck wraps for relief from back pain to menstrual pain and cramps.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder.
See why our company, Biomed DB Design, has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Just go to Amazon.com and search Sunny Bay, or call us 253-678-1361.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 4th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.42 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,213 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $23, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,428. Antiwar.com reports with growing concerns that another cholera outbreak is imminent in the ever-worsening humanitarian situation across Yemen. The World Health Organization, WHO, is requesting a 3-day ceasefire for the entire country to facilitate cholera vaccinations. Malnutrition, lack of fresh water, and medicine shortages have made cholera a recurring problem in Yemen's war. The most recent outbreak was the worst in human history, and WHO is warning that the new outbreak would have an even higher death rate because of even worse malnutrition. There has never been a formal cholera vaccination program in northern Yemen, but the WHO plan would have about 3,000 workers vaccinating over 500,000 people in and around the port city of Hodeidah, the main focus of the Saudi-led invasion. Hodeidah has seen a number of new cholera cases in recent days, and the ability to carry out a vaccination program on this depends on a ceasefire, however, as dozens of Saudi airstrikes in the past couple of days have made carrying out large-scale operations all but impossible.
FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners.
UPI reports in a highly competitive job market, employers are finding creative ways to find and keep talent, including perhaps the most effective method, offering more money. According to a new survey Friday by Career Builder, more than half of the companies questioned said that they'll give employees pay raises before the end of the year. Nearly a quarter said they will be pay hikes of at least 5%. The report said 58% of employers plan to offer pay raises and another 45% plan to up the starting salaries for new workers. Career Builder CEO Matt Ferguson said 50% of U.S. employers reported that it is taking them longer to fill jobs today compared to other periods of time, a trend that is ultimately giving job seekers more leverage. The job site said 63% of U.S. employers will hire full-time permanent workers in the second half of this year, an increase of 3% over 2017. To attract and keep talent, employers said they will offer greater perks like signing bonuses, more paid time off, casual dress, gym memberships, and the ability to work remotely. Higher wages aren't limited to high-end positions. The survey found 71% of companies feel they need to pay entry-level workers more because of tight talent pools. More than a fifth of employees told pollsters they expect to find a new job before the end of the year.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, "Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic." Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
Reuters reports a federal judge on Friday ruled that the Trump administration must fully restore a program that protects from deportation some young immigrants who were brought to the United States as children in violation of immigration laws, including the acceptance of new applications for the program. District Judge John Bates in Washington, D.C. said he would stay Friday's order, however, until August 23rd to give the administration time to decide whether to appeal. Bates first issued a ruling in April ordering the federal government to continue the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, including taking applications. He stayed that ruling for 90 days to give the government time to better explain why the program should be ended. On Friday, Bates said that he would not revise his previous ruling because the arguments from the Trump administration did not override his concerns. Under DACA, roughly 700,000 young adults, often referred to as dreamers, were protected from deportation and given work permits for 2-year periods, after which they must reapply to the program. The program was created in 2012 under former President Barack Obama. 2 other federal courts in California and New York had previously ordered that DACA remain in place while litigation challenging Trump's decision to end it continued. Those rulings only required the government to process DACA renewals, not new applications. Another lawsuit in a Texas federal court is seeking to end DACA. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Here is the Onion Week in Review Transportation Edition. In Albany, a Greyhound bus crash claimed 30 miserable lives Tuesday, finally putting over 24 deadbeat fathers, penniless drug addicts, and hapless bastards out of their misery. Emergency crews at the scene of the merciful accident described the sea of fast food bags, candy bar wrappers, and losing lottery tickets surrounding the crash site as utterly tragic, adding that the scorched corpses inside the bus were, quote, only slightly more lifeless than before the deadly accident.
Evidence suggests that most of the victims suffered during the crash, and for many years before they even boarded the bus. All I can say is, thank God no one made it.
Al-Qaeda is refusing to carry out any further terrorist attacks until the U.S. mass transportation infrastructure is drastically improved, calling the country's roads and bridges a, quote, travesty, unbecoming of a developed first world nation.
We want to turn your bridges into rubble. But if we took credit for making them collapse, no one would ever believe us.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves. A toll-free number for you, 855-450, Free Like Freedom, live Saturday edition, continuing with Ian.
And Mark.
And again, that toll-free number, 855-450-3733. You can also Skype into the show. Skype username is lrn.fm. And we've got the Discord on-air call-in line room where you can interact with us on the air, but there's also a bunch of other channels on the Discord in which you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners. So go to discord.lrn.fm to get in there. It is totally free, and there's apps for just about any operating system or smartphone that you might have. Once again, that's discord.lrn.fm. Mark is on the line with us listening to WVBG in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Mark, I know you had more to share. We were talking earlier about the sort of presidential contenders, possibly, The Rock, maybe Glenn Jacobs, who just won the mayoral election down in Knox County, Tennessee. Sure would be fun to see him take on Donald Trump in a debate. But go ahead with what else you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, I was going to say a comment that you had made was that people vote for somebody that for some reason that they like, and I agree with it. It's basically a popularity contest.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to pick a leader.
I don't want a leader.
The thing that people liked about Donald Trump was, I don't think, was his person; it was his message. I personally did not like him.
Which part of the message did you like?
All of it, from A to Z, all of it.
You liked all of his message?
Yep.
Tariffs?
Tariffs.
Building a wall.
All right. Well, tariffs are a terrible idea, and they've been hurting the economy. So I can't say I was really a big fan of that.
Well, as Trump says, it's short-term pain, long-term gain.
What's the gain?
So, you got the gain is that we stop sending billions of dollars to China, which they're going to use to defeat us at our own game.
What game is
that? When you say sending billions to China, do you mean buying things from China?
Right.
Well,
we buy $500 billion a year. They buy $100 billion a year.
There's a big disparity, no doubt, but that's because the United States, it's more expensive to make things here. I mean, there's a lot of people in China that are barely making ends meet by scratching, a living out of the dirt. In the United States, the poor people are fat. So, I mean, there's a difference here.
A great point.
A
great point. And so what the tariffs do is level the playing field.
What they do is they make toasters cost $100.
Yeah, it doesn't level the playing field. Tariffs are paid by Americans. So when there's a tariff on Chinese products,
competition would never let a toaster get to be $100. But
I think you can find a toaster
if the people in China were being paid the same wages as the people in the United States,
why in the world would you ever want to do that?
They're not being paid the same wages.
Why would you not want the standard of living to rise for the people in China?
Because no one would. Okay,
it is rising.
Wait a second. The standard of living is rising in China. But if I opened a factory in China and paid wages of the same as you pay, $25 an hour in China, nobody is going to manufacture anything at my plant because, well, for one, I'm an idiot. Two, it costs. It's they can go down the street and get it for a fifth of the price. Why would they pay that? This is bad economics from start to finish.
Yeah.
No one would leave the United States if the wages were the same. They'd just go from China to Bangladesh if they could make it work.
Right. If you impose a tariff on a product, I don't know if you understand this, but it hurts Americans when you do that, because if the American who's buying the product still wants that product from China, the American pays the tariff, and it's essentially a larger tax that's then being extracted from that American buyer and going into the government's pocket. It doesn't do anything to punish.
Guys, wait. If you go to buy a toaster,
yes,
and there's one that's made in America that's $20, and the one made in China is $10. You're going to go with the $10 toaster.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
That may be true, but what I can tell you is that enough people have done this already that there are no toasters made in the United States any longer. The United States has lost its toaster-making abilities because they can't compete with lower
But the manufacturing is coming back. And so if you raise
manufacturing
the tariff,
but manufacturing jobs aren't. Okay? The manufacturing's being done by robots.
If you buy the toaster, if you put the tariffs on the product, and you go to buy a toaster, and the one that's made in America is $20, and the one that's made in China is $22, people are going to buy the $20 toaster.
So what you're saying
is, what you've done is you have supported the economy in the United States.
Actually, you've hurt the economy. And
you provided a means to hire people, wages, income, profit, etc., to hire people in the United States, which is why our unemployment is at an all-time low.
Mark, what you've done is you've just forced the American buyer to pay $10 more than they otherwise would have for a toaster. That's $10 less than they now have $10 fewer in their wallet. That's $10 they can't spend on their kids. That's $10 they can't spend on paying the bills. It's $10 they can't spend on going out to eat. That's $10 less dollars or $10 fewer dollars that they have thanks to that tariff. You just hurt an American by doing that.
I've got two drills. One's a really old drill that you crank with your hand, and then one's one of these new cordless babies. I got it after the last one went up in flames. What I really should have done for my economy at my house is I should have stuck with the old hand crank drill that took forever and did a crappy job, instead of spending this money and sending a budget surplus to Home Depot. And I should have kept this old crappy crank drill. No, that's wrong, because now I have more time in my life because I don't have to spend my time cranking a drill. My wife doesn't have to wash her clothes by hand. Like all these other the time-saving devices that we've traded money for have made our lives better. Our relationship with China. Free trade makes everybody wealthier. Tariffs make everybody poorer.
It's so true.
But it's not free trade to begin with, because the Chinese are subsidizing an artificially low price.
They can only do that for so long.
If that's actually true, then who cares? That benefits the American consumer.
Right.
If somebody can buy, if somebody's going to buy something from China, it's because it's cheaper.
The American worker. And it doesn't benefit
the American workers are consumers.
The American workers are at an all-time low, as you said. No, listen.
That's a selfish motivation.
No, well, okay. Look, I'm not going to pay 5 times the amount to make your American worker thing happy. The American worker has gone on and done something else. In the same way that the blacksmith stopped making horseshoes and then started making car parts, the American worker then finds something else to do.
Right. The American...
To take your analogy of the overpriced product a bit further, if $20 is too high for the toaster, then Company B over here says, hey, Mark's making a huge amount of money on these toasters. We're going to make them and start selling them here in the United States for $15 a piece.
Well, that's easy to say, but if you have to...
That is the free market.
But it's not a free market, as you already admitted. It's not a free market, and it is less free if you have tariffs in place preventing people from, let's say, sourcing their parts from China. But further, if you have to pay American wages to manufacture a toaster, there's just no way you can do it as cheap as places around the world.
You can and lose money, but you'll benefit the workers.
And so there, you benefit the workers in China. They're having to raise their standard of living over there.
That's great.
The government can't continue to subsidize the toaster business. You're providing jobs in a fair market economy in the United States. You're providing opportunities for people to go to work. You're providing opportunity for people to learn the skills to program and operate, repair, and maintain the robots that make the toaster. So it's just a never-ending cycle.
It's going to be a never-ending cycle of poverty, Mark. Thank you for
If
the
the
call.
United States can't compete without tariffs, the United States, I mean, look, I'm sorry. If your business can't compete without artificially inflating the price of your competition,
you don't belong in business.
You should be doing that line of work.
Yeah. It's really sad. I mean, it's unfortunate that people just don't see that. The idea that the American worker is not a consumer. Hello? The American worker is a consumer. They have to feed their family. They go out. They buy products. They buy toasters.
They get lower prices every day.
Right. Well,
from
as
China.
long as there aren't tariffs getting in the way to artificially raise the prices on the American worker, who are the consumers. Are some of the consumers. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead.
Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You may dial toll free. Take control of the airwaves here at 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype username lrn.fm. Also, the Discord on-air call-in line room is open for you at discord.lrn.fm. If you want to sound like you're almost sitting here in the studio with us, that is the way to do it. Discord.lrn.fm. LibertyStickers.com. That's how you reach people with the ideas of liberty, and boy, do they need it now more than ever. You can do it from the back of your car with LibertyStickers.com. Reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, as long as you drive a little bit. If it sits in the garage, you're not going to reach anybody.
You can put it on your laptop.
Yep,
sit in the library.
That's another one. You can reach a bunch of people, and they've got some really great sayings on their stickers over at LibertyStickers.com. As we continue here, I want to get back into your calls, but just a little bit more on the Trump trade situation. Again, the proposal for all these tariffs, and many of them have apparently been put in place. We talked about a newspaper tariff that's actually helping to kill off newspapers even sooner than you might have expected them to die.
Wood pulp, you mean?
Yeah, some kind of pulp tariff has been hurting.
Pulp has gone up a lot recently, so now
up by 30%.
Yeah, now's the time, ladies and gentlemen, to get rid of those crappy pine trees on your property. People might come and get them a little more cheaply than they would otherwise.
So, the last caller, and I appreciate the discussion, the last caller had brought up this issue and talked about toasters, right? And the example he gave was...
I use the toasters, yeah.
Okay,
by the way, that
he
guy
was talking about it as well.
Very literate, at least understood the terms that we were talking about and these sorts of things. Oftentimes, when you're dealing with people talking in economic discussions, they don't even know the terms. So they absolutely knew the terms.
So he gave example of a toaster, saying it was $10 out of China, maybe $20 in the U.S., and so therefore, with a tariff, it would make it so the U.S. toaster would cost less than the Chinese toaster, meaning $20 for the U.S. toaster, $22 for the Chinese toaster. And I said, well, you're actually hurting the consumer because now you're forcing them to pay more for something that they could have paid less for. That's less money in their pocket at the end of the day, at the end of the shopping trip. But you don't just look at the one toaster. You got to look across the board. If you're talking about tariffs against products coming from other countries, then you got to add it to, the toaster, the fruit, all these other things that are coming in, these little parts, trinkets, whatever it is that people are buying.
Even the things that people make here are going
to go up in price.
Well, yeah, they're going to go up in price because they can.
But also because if they're sourcing parts from outside.
Sourcing parts and resources, it's a global economy.
But everything's going to go up in price, and so that means that at the end of the day, at the end of a shopping trip, the workers in America, which was who he was concerned about, the mom or the dad or whoever's out doing the shopping trip is going to come home poorer as a result of that. They're going to have fewer items in their cart, and they're going to have spent more money to buy those things. How anybody can look at that and say, well, that's good for the economy. No, it's not. It's good for the economy when people have more money that they can spend, when they have more money that they can save at the end of the day because they've been able to buy things from outside of the country, like, fresh fruit that's normally out of season, or, again, all these products that are being manufactured for much lower prices. That benefits the consumer, and if it benefits the consumer, that benefits the economy and the workers, by the way.
Yeah, I tend not to think that a manufacturing economy is what the United States particularly needs. But it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the economy will bear. And currently with the cost of labor in the United States, whether you support minimum wage laws or not, the cost of labor in the United States just makes it impossible for the U.S. to compete when you talk about mass production that other countries could do.
Let's go to the phones to The Fun. Harold is on the line in Virginia, listening to WNIS. Hey, Harold.
Hi, guys. Hey. How are you guys tonight?
Excellent.
I really enjoy your show.
Thanks.
Most of the time when I listen to it, I would say that I probably don't disagree. I don't agree with you most of the time.
All right.
But on this particular topic, I certainly do.
Excellent.
And I share your frustration with trying to teach economics to Mark.
The caller.
The caller.
Yes. So you were asking him what he liked about Trump's ideas, and I did vote for Trump, but I voted for Trump because I thought, being a person who has a top secret security clearance, I could not, in good conscience, vote for Hillary at all. Yep. And not that I...
You have a top secret security clearance? Is that what you said?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And so I appreciate what it means to maintain our nation's secrets. And I think that she did not, and I think she willfully did not. So therefore, I couldn't vote for her.
I met a lifetime Democrat, as a matter of fact, a judge in a southern state, who refused to vote for Hillary based on his... a relative of his is a Secret Service agent, had been for a long time, and said that basically she's just a terrible human being. Now, I don't know. This is just what
obviously, she's
but a lifetime
politician.
Democrat. And when I say a lifetime Democrat, I don't mean somebody who voted Democrat. I mean somebody who was at the
Party
Democratic
member.
Conventions. Yeah. An elected judge, Democrat, whose child worked at the Secret Service, and he said,
doubt.
I
She's
just couldn't in
detestable.
good conscience do it. Yeah,
right. She's detestable, no doubt about it. But go ahead with other comments you had, Harold.
Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to talk about the tariffs.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what Trump's position was. All I knew that was Trump at least advocated, and I never know what to believe when it comes out of his mouth. I agree with you guys. He lies up and down. So I can only act and respond to what is and isn't being done out of Washington. I don't like the tariffs, but what I do like with regard to what Trump has done, whether he intended to or not, he at least brought forward the hypocrisy of what the NAFTA agreement was all about. And he talked about, the NAFTA agreement was supposed to be about free trade. You would think that means no tariffs, but that's not what it was at all. The Canadians had protections for their products. The Mexicans had protections for their products.
And the U.S. had protections too. Yeah.
And we had protections too, exactly. So I think that he is an advocate for no tariffs at all, which is exactly what I'm an advocate of.
Yeah, that's what some spokesman said this week on one of the major shows. I'm sorry, I wish I had the
spokesman for Trump?
Yes, a Trump spokesman of some sort. I can't remember the name. I'll get it wrong. But, one of these TV guys that was speaking for him. And absolutely. Look, if this is his system to get to free trade, I disagree with it. But, good luck.
No, I feel like I've heard of this. Is the idea these are reciprocal tariffs, and so if you drop your tariff, we'll drop our tariff? Is that what you're talking about,
That's
that
the notion.
system?
I think that he is at least bringing that to the forefront. And that is at least consistent with the other things, the disparities in NATO, with the Germans not paying their, I hate the term fair share, the colloquialism of it, but I'll go ahead and throw it out there. And all the other things that the United States gets taken advantage of, the Chinese.
Harold, I want to say thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. There's more coming up. We got time for you if you want to join us. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you you can go this way?
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Forget it.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
Property,
What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You know who else is into protectionism? Nicolas Maduro down in Venezuela. He's all into making sure that all the companies in Venezuela are protected.
Well, they're all government owned at this point.
Well, not all of them.
Nationalized all of them.
Most of them. Definitely, they've done a severe amount of nationalizing, and certainly most people who support Trump would probably see that as a bad thing, hopefully. But ultimately, the idea of...
a lot of people, when it's their favorite politician, they can just get away with anything. So if... Obama did nationalize the auto companies, the auto manufacturers to some extent. Decided how Chrysler...
Was that Obama or Bush?
No, that was Obama.
Okay.
Decided how Chrysler was going to be dealt with and sold to Fiat and all kinds of things that should not have been done by the chief executive. And frankly, I believe that if Trump just came out and said, we're going to take control of steel manufacturing or whatever. Steel's a big deal right now. That there are plenty of people that would cheer it. Lots and lots of people. Most of them wouldn't be Obama supporters.
We'll continue with your calls and thoughts. The toll-free number tonight is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Skype username, LRN.FM. Oh, and I do want to let you know that Anarchapulco is already scheduled for 2019. In fact, the early bird ticket period has ended, but we can still get you 15% off of the ticket price over at anarchapulco.com. This is an event that sold out in 2018, and it was great. Mark, you and I were there.
It's awesome.
We did Free Talk Live every day from Anarchapulco, and we're going to do it again coming up February 14th through the 19th. You haven't missed out yet because it isn't sold out yet, but there is a chance this one's going to sell out too. The buzz around Anarchapulco is palatable. It's significant within the Liberty community. It's outside of the United States, so it attracts a wide swath of libertarians, voluntarists, anarchists. These are people who, some of them, they won't come to the United States. They've left the United States, and they don't want to go back.
Some of them won't come to the United States. They've never been and aren't going to go.
Yeah, there's a large kind of expat group, I think, at the Anarchapulco event. Just folks who, they want to go to a libertarian event, but they don't want to go if it's in the United States. And, of course, great location, Acapulco, Mexico. It's absolutely beautiful in the month of February of 2019. So great excuse to get out of if you're in a cold climate and come down and just have a good time with a bunch of libertarians. Like Ron Paul, he's going to be there. Speaking, Judge Napolitano, Doug Casey, Larkin Rose, and I'm sure dozens more who have yet to be announced. Go to anarchapulco.com, use code FTL like Free Talk Live, save 15% off of your registration there. Anarchapulco.com, code FTL. Let's go to Don in Tallahassee, listening to WVFT FM. Hey, Don.
Hey, in a perfect world, I think I agree with Ian on tariff, and because tariff is just a tax, and the consumer pays the tax, and
correct,
but our founders chose tariff over other means of taxation. The income tax was actually declared unconstitutional in 1895 because
1895 is a heck of a long way from the founding of the country, but all right.
No, but I mean Abraham Lincoln imposed to help finance the War of Northern Aggression by imposing an income tax, and other than that, it was just declared unconstitutional. They had to pass the 16th Amendment.
I don't think that the founders were capitalists. I don't think that they understood at that point, the Industrial Revolution hadn't even occurred. That to really find when the United States was at its peak capitalism for the United States was probably between the 1850s and the 1900s, somewhere, that 50-year period. They called it the Gilded Era or Gilded Age or whatever it is that they wish to call it. So I'm not even 100% clear that George Washington or Thomas Jefferson would have understood what tariffs meant.
Well, they did. They certainly did, and we don't have enough time to discuss that now. But I would like to point out a few things that, first of all, when we deal with communist China, we're dealing with a country that has enslaved their people. You talk about, they only make 11 cents an hour, whatever you indicated earlier that they make. That's because they are in bondage. We shouldn't be trading with them at all. In other words, if a alien force came in and took over Pittsburgh and then put the people in bondage, we shouldn't be trading with them.
So are you alleging that all Chinese manufacturing is slave labor? Because I don't think that's true.
Well, no. Anything, first of all, it all comes under government control. I mean, there are companies there that are favored in industries, and also the other thing is they subsidize certain industries in order to run.
That's true in the United States, though.
Yeah, the United States subsidizes too. I mean, we've got the farm
subsidies, all kinds of corporate welfare.
But okay, let's move this from China to Cuba. Because we can definitely say that basically the Cuban government benefits directly from increased trade with the United States. And
the Cuban people also benefit from increased trade.
That's the debate, right? Like, so we all know that the Cuban people would benefit too, but the question is, do you want to benefit the government, make it more powerful, even though it'll become less tyrannical? It won't become, democratic in whatever sense that we want it to be democratic. China's already a republic because, well, heck, they have that in their name or whatever that means.
Cuba should be, Cuba should be treated the same way that I just espoused we should be treating communist China.
Right, that's why I wanted to bring it to Cuba, because it's more clear with Cuba. You can't get into this whole, what does the Chinese government does this or that? I think it's more clear with Cuba that Cuba is more socialist than the Chinese government is.
Well, I mean, we're adopting socialism. We've adopted, Karl Marx had an 8-point plank for taking over civilization.
10 planks. 10. We talked about it.
Yeah, 10. We think we're about 8.5 at this point. Yeah.
8 out of 10. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, when even our allies, like Canada, they have favored industries and they subsidize certain industries that hurt our industries. And so I think what Donald Trump is doing, like I said, I don't agree with the tariff idea. I think in the perfect world, we should eliminate them all. Mm-hmm. But I like what he's done so far. And what this amounts to is they've pretty much allowed, other countries to dominate us to where, we can't compete on the world stage. So we're the biggest market in the world. We're bigger than China.
Yep,
we're
biggest
bigger
market.
than the Soviet Union, and it's gonna hurt them more, and it's gonna bring them to a negotiating table. I like
See, I wouldn't use a term like dominate. I mean, if somebody's offering you a better price on the same product,
right? I don't try to dominate the hamburger dealer. I just want a hamburger.
They're just offering you a better deal. You get to choose whether or not you go and do business with them. And people like these protectionists want to stop you from being able to make that choice.
I think the best argument against for a trade war with China is that China doesn't respect the United States' intellectual property laws, right?
That's true.
Good.
But, in one sense, it's not like China's going out and sharing the intellectual property that they get from the United States. They're not about sharing. They're about corporate espionage, okay? Uh-huh. So there's a difference there.
Give me a good knockoff. I don't care.
It's not even a nuance, frankly. Yeah. Well, the world's full of knockoffs, and many of them come from China. There's no doubt. And that's the question we have to ask ourselves is, do you want knockoffs or don't you want knockoffs?
I want choice. That's what I want.
Much of this is about protecting the United States' very powerful and rich people within the United States' intellectual property, not you and I.
Don, thank you for the call tonight. I do appreciate the discussion, although I disagree with the assertion that Chinese people are slaves to industry there, because many of them have chosen to go and work in those factories instead of, say, on a farm. We're coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Hi, I'm Patrick Colbeck, and I'm running for governor. How would you like to eliminate our state income tax and senior pension tax? Immediately, the naysayers in Lansing who live off the taxpayers' dime shout, that's impossible. Really? Michigan generates a net $10 billion from income tax annually. Michigan's budget has increased by $10 billion over the past 8 years alone. I have a practical, milestone-based plan to eliminate the state personal income tax without harming schools or public safety. Principled solutions prioritize your best interests, not lobbyists. Paid for by Patrick Colbeck for governor.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, inviting you to take control of the airwaves. Bring up what you want. Our toll-free number for you is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Skype username, lrn.fm. We've got the Discord on-air call-in line room, which is open for you now over at discord.lrn.fm. In the studio tonight, it's me, Ian.
And me, Mark.
As we continue, do want to invite you over to the Free Talk Live Twitch channel, where we've got a live streaming video feed coming out of the studio every single night that we're live here, which is every single night, 7 nights a week. We're live from 7 to 10 at night Eastern Time. If you want to catch us over there, just go to twitch.lrn.fm. You can follow the channel. We've crossed the 400 follower threshold, and we've been at it for since January, is when we started over there on Twitch after YouTube unceremoniously booted our live stream without explaining why. We went and looked for another video provider, and it turns out Twitch is actually pretty darn good at doing live video distribution and not charging us for it, which is, nice. So head on over to twitch.lrn.fm. You can follow us there, and then you'll get notifications of when we go live. And we're always live at the same time every night, but you don't always remember about it. So it's nice to get the notification on that. And if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can also gift us your Amazon Prime free subscription to give you as one of your perks for being a Prime member, which you may not have already known about this, but you get a free subscription on Twitch because Amazon purchased Twitch, I think, a couple years ago. So that's one of your perks. If you're not using that perk on some other channel, give it to us. The way you can do it is outlined below our video feed at twitch.lrn.fm. Just scroll down a little bit and read below there, and you'll find the instructions on how to link up your accounts and how to subscribe to the Free Talk Live or the LRN.FM Twitch channel at twitch.lrn.fm. As we continue, we'll take your calls, your thoughts. Larry is on the line in Indianapolis listening to WIBC. Hello, Larry.
How you doing, Mark and Ian?
Hey, what's on your mind tonight?
You have interesting conversations, but when you have them, you leave out the fact of our nature, of nature, in fact, on a microscopic level even.
What do you mean?
Viruses and bacteria and any type of organism, the weak always get preyed on by the strong. And that is true. Without regulations and laws that have a degree of certainty, then our nature will take over, and it's worse than capitalism by a long shot. And you never take that into consideration. I mean, it's a philosophical consideration, but it is the truth. When you talk about trade deals and so forth, you're talking about people who have been bribed and extorted, and you're talking about people who are into exploitation. In fact, that's what free trade means, is exploitation. So
free
the United
trade
States,
means exploitation.
So you're backing up Trump. You support Trump's tariffs.
I'm not. I'm just saying they're giving you the philosophical meaning and explanation.
Well, no, you said you're against free trade. You said you're against free trade.
No, I'm not against free trade. But I'm not against free trade. But what I'm saying is free trade equals exploitation.
How?
Hold on. So you said that without regulations or whatever, that the weak will prey on the strong. The people who have influence, the people with influence will use their influence and this sorts of things. But I mean, what evidence do you have that with tariffs that people won't use their influence to get what they want? I mean, aren't American manufacturers really happy in some cases about these tariffs? I mean, now we can exploit the local customer and make them buy our new higher priced products, right?
I'll go way back. I'll go back to the founding of our industry here within the United States, where we surely placed tariffs, plus we had a barrier to keep the already established businesses that were in Europe from just making a dump on us, because we had the ocean to separate us. And what we've done is to place tariffs in to develop our own industries and to a certain extent protect our own interests, our own businesses in the beginning. But if you let it keep on running and you have a lopsided situation, then it's going to be back to human nature. And that's one thing that we can't overlook. When we overlook that,
I don't understand what you're saying here. You're talking about human nature. Are you saying that politicians aren't subject to human nature?
They are. We prey on the strong, prey on the weak.
So you would agree then that the politicians are strong because they've got a military and police state backing them, so they're preying on weak people. So why would you trust them to level a playing field? Why would you trust them to implement tariffs?
Because we allow them to do anything they do by not keeping up on them. When we elect them, we allow them to go away. We allow them to vote in situations to bring this country to its knees, and we go along with it because we like them. Like you said, we vote for people that we like.
You like politicians?
Yeah, well, the people that we vote for.
Well, not everybody votes for people they like. We had a guy call earlier saying he voted against Hillary, so he would have voted for anybody who wasn't Hillary.
Well, when you vote for somebody, that's an affirmation of your thoughts and how you feel toward them, that you feel good enough to give something as cherished as your vote to them, then that's when you say that you care for them and you feel like that they can do a good job.
No, that's not why everybody votes. Maybe that's why you vote, Larry, and thank you for the call tonight. That's not why everybody votes.
It's not how I vote.
Some people
I understand that a vote is mathematically insignificant.
Yeah,
so when I went to the Republican primary, my guy, Rand Paul, had dropped out.
Like a coward.
Well, whatever it is that you might, look at you, assigning meaning. He dropped out for whatever reason. He dropped out, and I didn't feel like I had anybody to vote for. I kind of went through as I'm driving there in my pickup truck, my 2002 F-350. Right, I'm trying to decide who I'm going to vote for. I'm running Ben, then Fiorina. This is the New Hampshire primary, so it's the first one. Everybody's still in, except for Rand Paul, of course, and I just came to the conclusion I don't like any of these people enough to vote for them. So I understand.
Voted against the rest of them.
No, I understood that my vote is mathematically insignificant, that whomever I vote for isn't going to win the Republican.
You could have just turned around then.
I could have. But I was running for office, and I felt like it was important for me to show up at the polls and place a vote so that people don't say, wow, this guy just runs and he doesn't vote. So I felt like I had to go. I could have not done anything, but it was the primary. Like I could have gone and just turned in a blank ballot.
Yeah.
So I just decided, it's a pencil mark on a piece of paper. Nobody here for whom I vote is going to win by one vote, take the presidency as a result. This is just one vote, and it's going to be completely meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And so I checked Donald Trump because that's who I believed was going to win. I'm just like, this is a snapshot in time. This is what I believe.
So you voted for him because you thought he would win, not because you thought he was the best choice of the remaining.
That's correct.
Bad choices.
Right. It's just like when they spin the roulette wheel. It's not that I love red and hate black or vice versa. I could just pick one of those two colors without having a feeling about it, and that's what I did. My feeling was I'm sad Rand Paul dropped out.
A lot of people will vote because they're voting against somebody.
That happens a lot.
They would vote for anybody but that somebody, and that certainly happened with both Hillary and Trump. Some people voted against Trump, others voted against Hillary. Some did that by voting for third party, so voting for the Green Party or the Libertarian Party, for instance, or just simply holding their nose and voting for either Trump or Hillary, whichever one they liked the most of those two, or disliked the least. And some people vote out of a sense of self-defense, not because they are endorsing the candidate that they're voting for. They feel as though voting for that candidate, whoever it is we're talking about, is going to be the least damaging vote that they can give, meaning it would be of the two or three or however many options there were, they would do the least damage, and so they vote for that person, not because they believe in them or agree with them, just simply because they're the lesser of the two evils. I don't know
by their estimation.
Yeah, and I don't know what portion of the voting population makes these rational or irrational, or however you want to look at it, rationalizes in these ways.
I talked to a girl who voted for George Bush because she felt like he was good looking. I mean, there's it's the whole notion that we give this small group primate that we call human beings a vote. We can see what the end result is. The end result is a reality TV star is now the president of the United States. His relationship to the truth is situational at best. Not to say, and like, look at the other side. The lady who cheated, who had the intent to cheat. I can't tell you whether she cheated or not, but I can tell you
cheating once. Good chance she's cheated before.
She stacked the deck in order to become the nominee.
Leopards don't change their spots.
It's like The Simpsons with Kang and Crag or whatever running for office, the two
aliens?
Carnivorous aliens running for office, and they're like, ha 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 ha, what are you gonna do, vote third party? I mean, this is the fact that the pitchforks and torches aren't out already just shows you what a docile beast we are.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. If you're on the line, hang in there. We got you coming up here in hour number 3 next. Also, if we got a chance, we'll talk more about another terrible president, the Venezuelan president. Much worse. It's Free Talk Live.
Have you had credit challenges, divorce, bankruptcy, or just haven't established your credit yet? If so, getting a decent car loan can be tough. The good news is that there is a place where you can get a car loan at a fair price, regardless of your credit situation. Auto Loan Express can make it happen now when you visit newcar99.com. Here's the deal. If you have a regular job, then there's no reason to keep taking the bus or repairing that old junker. Go to newcar99.com today and fill out our simple online application. We accept over 99% of applicants and can get you behind the wheel of your new car with just a few strokes of your keyboard. No hassles, no third degree. Just fill out the simple online application and start shopping for your next car. So when you're ready to get on the road with your new car loan, visit us online at newcar99.com, where we accept 99% of all applications. newcar99.com. If you have a job, then you qualify. Here's to you and your new car. Visit newcar99.com. newcar99.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 4th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.42 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,213 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $23, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,428. Antiwar.com reports with growing concerns that another cholera outbreak is imminent in the ever-worsening humanitarian situation across Yemen. The World Health Organization, WHO, is requesting a 3-day ceasefire for the entire country to facilitate cholera vaccinations. Malnutrition, lack of fresh water, and medicine shortages have made cholera a recurring problem in Yemen's war. The most recent outbreak was the worst in human history, and WHO is warning that the new outbreak would have an even higher death rate because of even worse malnutrition. There has never been a formal cholera vaccination program in northern Yemen, but the WHO plan would have about 3,000 workers vaccinating over 500,000 people in and around the port city of Hodeidah, the main focus of the Saudi-led invasion. Hodeidah has seen a number of new cholera cases in recent days, and the ability to carry out a vaccination program on this depends on a ceasefire, however, as dozens of Saudi airstrikes in the past couple of days have made carrying out large-scale operations all but impossible. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. UPI reports in a highly competitive job market, employers are finding creative ways to find and keep talent, including perhaps the most effective method, offering more money. According to a new survey Friday by Career Builder, more than half of the companies questioned said that they'll give employees pay raises before the end of the year. Nearly a quarter said they will be pay hikes of at least 5%. The report said 58% of employers plan to offer pay raises and another 45% plan to up the starting salaries for new workers. Career Builder CEO Matt Ferguson said 50% of U.S. employers reported that it is taking them longer to fill jobs today compared to other periods of time, a trend that is ultimately giving job seekers more leverage. The job site said 63% of U.S. employers will hire full-time permanent workers in the second half of this year, an increase of 3% over 2017. To attract and keep talent, employers said they will offer greater perks like signing bonuses, more paid time off, casual dress, gym memberships, and the ability to work remotely. Higher wages aren't limited to high-end positions. The survey found 71% of companies feel they need to pay entry-level workers more because of tight talent pools. More than a fifth of employees told pollsters they expect to find a new job before the end of the year. In 1999, Daryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Daryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com. Reuters reports a federal judge on Friday ruled that the Trump administration must fully restore a program that protects from deportation some young immigrants who were brought to the United States as children in violation of immigration laws, including the acceptance of new applications for the program. District Judge John Bates in Washington, D.C. said he would stay Friday's order, however, until August 23rd to give the administration time to decide whether to appeal. Bates first issued a ruling in April ordering the federal government to continue the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, including taking applications. He stayed that ruling for 90 days to give the government time to better explain why the program should be ended. On Friday, Bates said that he would not revise his previous ruling because the arguments from the Trump administration did not override his concerns. Under DACA, roughly 700,000 young adults, often referred to as dreamers, were protected from deportation and given work permits for 2-year periods, after which they must reapply to the program. The program was created in 2012 under former President Barack Obama. 2 other federal courts in California and New York had previously ordered that DACA remain in place while litigation challenging Trump's decision to end it continued. Those rulings only require the government to process DACA renewals, not new applications. Another lawsuit in a Texas federal court is seeking to end DACA. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
If you're the parent of a man-child, you know how frustrating it can sometimes be. The piercing sound of his video games waking you up at 2 in the morning. His insatiable hunger and inability to cook anything for himself. The messes he makes. The stress can be overwhelming.
Something will set them off, such as their man-child will tell them that they don't know how to tie a tie even though they're almost 30. They'll start shaking them and yelling and saying, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you get a real job instead of working part-time at a board game store?"
The results of shaken man-child syndrome are devastating. Trauma caused by the brain colliding with the inside of the man-child's skull can lead to cognitive disabilities, making it even more unlikely he'll finally marry the girl he's been having a long-distance online relationship with for 6 years. Or it can even lead to death.
He's not spilling cereal all over the couch or leaving his beard clippings in the bathroom sink intentionally. He truly does not know what he's doing.
For the Lab Report, I'm Stuart Adams.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Take control of the airwaves. Bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Skype username's LRN.FM, and we've got the Discord on-air call-in line room at discord.lrn.fm. Here in the studio with you tonight, it's Ian.
And Mark.
As we continue, we're going to take more of your calls. Actually, I think somebody called in about, I don't even remember how we got on this free trade / tariff / protectionist topic, but it's been going.
It's hot.
Have a lot to say about this because, well, they've been lied to about tariffs. They've been told that tariffs somehow are beneficial to the U.S. economy, and they want to believe it. You know, they want to believe that this idea of taxing people, because that's what a tariff is, it's another word for a tax, that taxing people could somehow be good for the economy. The thing they miss out on is, I think that people think that the tariffs are hurting the people in the other countries, that the people in the other countries are paying the tariffs or something like that. But the reality is, if somebody pays a tariff on an imported product, that person's in the United States. That person lives here. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your next door neighbor. Maybe it's, somebody down the street. They're the ones being hurt by that tariff. So if you support tariffs, you support impoverishing your neighbors and yourself. Unless you already buy everything American, unless you're already buying 100% of everything that you buy is 100% manufactured in the United States. No parts from outside of the United States. No assembly outside of the United States.
Nearly impossible.
It is impossible.
Yeah, you basically have to not buy anything.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to continue. Your calls, your thoughts are welcome here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. If you want to benefit the economy, if you want to benefit the people in the United States, you end tariffs, you abolish restrictions on trade, and you let people buy from wherever the best source is, wherever it is they're getting the best deal. That's how you benefit the economy, because it keeps more money in people's pockets. It increases their quality of living. If you can spend less and get more, you're living a better lifestyle at that point. If you're spending more and getting the same amount of things, you're living a poorer lifestyle at that point. And if you're spending more and getting less, that's even worse.
I think the biggest trick here is to think of trade as having to do with nations. Like America's going to get one over on China, or China has been getting one over on the United States, or whatever it is. The United States is a small club, and you're not in it.
What do you mean by that?
You might be a United States citizen, but when they're referring to trade balances benefiting the U.S. or whatever, they're not talking about you. They're not talking about the way it benefits you. They're talking about very wealthy people who travel across international borders like they are nothing. Okay? So you're just rooting for a certain... It's like picking a favorite football team. It's your favorite set of millionaires. And when they win, you feel good. When they lose, you feel bad. When they win or lose, they're like, win or lose. That's how we do this game. But cha-ching, we got paid.
Yep. In the end, you do not benefit. Let's continue with Bart on the line in Indianapolis, listening to WIBC. Hello, Bart.
Actually, it's Art, but that's okay.
Sorry about that.
Hey,
Go
guys,
ahead, Art.
That's all right. You know what? I don't get to catch your show too much, but tonight I was driving and had the opportunity to flip over and catch it, and I love this conversation about free trade and tariffs and all the like. So I just wanted to add my 2 cents and basically hear your comments. So the whole trade situation with China and tariffs, think about it this way. We are upset with China because they cheat. Okay? So I understand intellectual property is very important.
Hold on. Before we go on, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but when you say they cheat, are you talking about the Chinese government when you say China, or are you talking about every individual on the continent, the land
or
mass,
the manufacturers or whatever?
China.
I'm glad you brought that up. No, we're talking about the government.
Okay, of course they cheat. They're the government.
Yeah.
And when you say we, who the heck are you talking about then? Because I know you're not talking about the government, because I don't...
So they cheat, okay?
Yeah.
Well, so we put on tariffs, and we are talking about putting more tariffs on. And when I say we, I'm talking
the
about
government.
the administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
The
that's
United
not
States.
me. I'm not in us. I'm not them.
But not us.
In particular, the administration. So, but let's say we add $200 billion worth of tariffs. That doesn't solve the problem. So assume they come to the table at some point and say, okay, well, we want to get rid of these tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
We still haven't solved the root problem. The root problem is the government of China cheats. So we can solve the problem. So what they would like to say, solve the problem today. But we'll be looking at the same situation somewhere else down the line. So I will then say this. We're talking about, $350 billion in deficits that we have with China. And we are a almost $20 trillion economy. I don't think that issue is one to be blown up in the fashion that it has been blown up in.
I agree.
There's not even an issue, right? The whole idea of a trade deficit is just bad economics. It's meaningless.
Right.
Yes.
Because
I've got a trade deficit with Home Depot.
Because there's no such thing as a trade deficit. It's a trade. You've traded a amount of money to get a product in return. If you didn't think it was a good deal, you wouldn't have made the trade.
You're exactly right. Yeah. And ultimately the beneficiary of the trade deal really is American. I don't know if you guys
both
ever
sides
followed,
benefit. In a trade without coercion, both sides benefit because the one side says, I'd rather have that product more than I'd have this money. The other side says, I'd rather have that money more than I'd have this product. And they both come together and they make the exchange, and both of them walk away feeling like they got the best end of the deal.
You know what? I cannot disagree with you. You're right. They do benefit. But when it comes to the United States, you guys follow Milton Friedman. Of course, he's no longer with us, but Friedman was a Nobel laureate economist. I used to sit in college classes and listen to his lectures
Didn't
that
we
he
have
would
his
have
son
during the
on?
1970s.
Yeah, we had Patri on. It's been a
That's
couple.
his grandson, right?
We
have David on?
Yeah,
as
we've
well?
had both his son and his grandson on. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, if you ever listen to Friedman would tell you that claiming that the steel companies are being hurt because of the lack of tariffs and claiming it to be a national security issue, Friedman would tell you that that's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay?
It is.
That is not true. And the other thing Friedman would tell you is that the only thing that you get with tariffs would be higher prices.
That's right.
And that doesn't end well in any situation. So I don't understand all of the rhetoric around it. And it's pretty hotly. I think the name that you were looking for earlier was Larry Kudlow. He was
Kudlow, you're right.
He was carrying the water for the administration this week, talking about they really want to go to zero tariffs. Well, that would be great, but we have over 12,000 protected industries in the United States. Tobacco, for example. I don't think you want to see UK cigarettes over here. Maybe you do. I don't know.
Yes, I want to see anything over here.
I think free trade. I'm full on free trade. I believe that free trade for the United States, even if nobody else changed their tariffs at all.
Right. Lead. Set the example.
All.
Set the example.
No. I don't care about setting the example. I don't care about doing the right thing so that other people will do the right thing.
Oh, I do.
I care about doing the right thing so that it benefits me, and it will. Free trade will benefit this country, even if every other country doesn't.
Well, you could be right there as well. I won't disagree with you there. But what I am saying is that we have protected industries here. So if
That's true.
You're making the point. If we want to really talk about free trade, then we should go to zero.
Absolutely.
On those in those protective industries.
Yes, those industries should not be protected because that's ultimately, even though it may protect the industry, it's hurting the consumer.
I'll go you one further. Immigration laws are just a tariff, a restriction on labor. So, the United States should have free resources and labor too.
No doubt.
People should be able to cross borders of free countries freely.
You better believe it. Bart, great call. Good conversation. Appreciate hearing from you. We got more room for you on the way here now. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. Whether you want to talk about trade and the lack of freedom in it, this is Free Talk Live.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. Zencash.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene.
You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Bring up what you want here. Live Saturday edition of the show. Continuing now with Ian
and Mark.
Also, want to make sure you know about liberty.menu, unless you're not a libertarian, in which case, sorry, you'll have to disregard this, because it's only for people who are individuals who reject the initiation of force and who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. So if you are a libertarian, a voluntarist, an anarcho-capitalist, however you describe yourself, if you believe in freedom, you belong at liberty.menu. It's a place where you can promote what you do. Maybe you've got a business, you're an entrepreneur, perhaps you've got an event you want to promote, or you're a digital content creator. There's categories for each of those things at liberty.menu, and then other libertarians will go to the site and maybe they'll discover what you do and hire you or buy your product or whatever it is. So go to liberty.menu. You can go and create your entries there, and it's totally free to do that. So there's no reason not to be on liberty.menu unless, of course, you don't want anyone to know that you're a libertarian or that you're friendly to libertarians.
Or don't want to do business.
That's true. Liberty.menu. You can use code FTL like Free Talk Live. You got a special Free Talk Live user badge there. We can't give you a discount because it's free to enter your stuff there.
The discount's in place.
Yeah.
It's free.
Liberty.menu. Go there, check it out. It's pretty cool. Great looking website, and it works well. As we continue with your calls and thoughts, Benjamin is on the line in Pennsylvania listening to WEEO in McConnellsburg on FM. Hey, Benjamin.
Hey, guys. How are you this evening?
Great. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about your thoughts about our two-party system in this country.
Okay.
I am a libertarian. I voted for Gary Johnson in the last election.
Yeah.
As did
I did not.
Yeah. I personally, I think that, and I think that many Americans agree with me, I think that we were given two kind of mediocre candidates by the mainstream parties. And I think that we as a country would do much better if we had more than just two parties.
Sure.
Many other countries do. And I think if we had, say, like 4 candidates as opposed to just 2 in general elections, I think that we might have better leadership overall.
Agreed.
And I'm
there were more than 2 candidates. I mean, people did vote, as you pointed out, for Gary Johnson. Others voted for Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate. Those third-party candidates got about 3 times the vote totals that they received, because it was the same 2 that ran in 2012 as ran in 2016. They got about 3 times the vote totals, likely because the candidates were so bad. And you called them mediocre, which is almost complimentary to them. I mean, they were awful.
Trump and Hillary were just some of the worst candidates you could possibly imagine. But the problem is that the government, or the Republicans and Democrats, have set the rules of the election, specifically the debates, so difficult to where it's almost impossible for a third party to actually qualify and be seen on stage with the other two parties. So basically, they've fixed the rules from the very get-go, and essentially it's all set to lock out any real competition, it's sad.
It's because the American voter doesn't take responsibility. It's not just that's two parties. I mean, everybody who's listening to my voice who's said things like, well, I'm not going to vote for a third party because I want my vote to count, or some nonsense like that. Well, your vote counted just as much this election as it would have if you voted for a third party. Insofar as if you could go back right now and change your vote, I will bet you anything you want to bet that it would not have changed the outcome. Any one of you changed your vote to whomever you want to change it to, it would not change the outcome of the election, because no election in the history of the United States has been decided by one vote. And I mean for a president.
Yeah, but Mark, if everybody just voted for, or not if everybody, but if a significant portion of the people who were going to vote for, let's say, the Democrat or the Republican voted instead for one of these third parties, that could hurt the Democrat and Republicans' chances to get elected.
It certainly could, but then the Democrat or then the Libertarian or the Green Party or whomever it was that's running might win if a significant number of people did it. But at this point, right now, in reality, you only control your vote. You may be able to influence another 3, 4, 5, 10 votes, tops. If you're on the radio, you may be able to influence hundreds, but still, maybe thousands. I don't know. But
don't give yourself that much credit.
I'm not. I said if you're on the radio, there's other people on the radio more influential than I am. I don't butter people up and tell them what great Americans they are or anything like that. Yeah. The vast majority of my listeners call me up and they say, "Thanks for the opportunity to speak. I don't agree with you most of the time." That's their intro. For God's sakes, I'm not influential. I just tell people the hard facts. Your vote is meaningless. You might as well vote your heart. Voting strategically doesn't count.
Well, which presumes that people even know that there are other candidates available because the mainstream media keeps them out.
If they're looking at the voting, the piece of paper, they can see.
Yeah, but you don't make your mind. I mean, odds are, they're not going to know anything about those other candidates if they haven't done any research prior to showing up at the polls.
The colloquial definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah, I understand that.
Sure. I think that's true. Yes. So I live in a small town in south central Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And I've talked to so many people that say, I truly identify as libertarian, but I'm registered Republican so that I can vote in primaries and that kind of thing. And speaking to voting your heart, I mean, I would almost argue that if more people did vote their heart, we would have more even elections. I think that the third-party candidates would get greater support,
right?
If more people did vote their heart. I mean, my father voted Jill Stein, and he and I, don't see eye to eye on everything. We see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I think that it's just, like you guys said, the mainstream media and the two-party system does have such a monopoly over the governing system that people feel so forced to register as one of the two parties and vote for one of the two parties.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to, just finish with my question for you guys would be, if you were to give honest advice to your listeners, that, what would be your best advice for those of us that really want to see the growth of the third-party system? How do you believe that could really happen?
So at the nationwide level, I'd say it's pretty much hopeless. If you're a libertarian, you ought to consider moving to New Hampshire as part of the New Hampshire Freedom Migration, where we actually have thousands of libertarians who've already moved to New Hampshire as part of this migration, and many more thousands have pledged to make the move here. The idea is to concentrate activism, to concentrate libertarians in one place so we can actually have an influence on the political system. And we already are having that influence where libertarians are winning elections here in New Hampshire. So they're getting elected as Republicans and Democrats, but this year we are actually going to see the libertarians have ballot access for the first time in 2 decades at the same level as the Republicans and Democrats. So finally, we've got a fair shot. The New Hampshire media, and thanks for the call, Benjamin, the New Hampshire media does tend to be pretty fair to the third parties that are running in the race, from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, the New Hampshire media is much more fair than the national media when it comes to third parties.
Yeah, so we'll keep you in the loop on how that continues to develop here. But in the meantime, if that sounds interesting and you're a libertarian or a voluntarist or whatever, go to 101reasonsfilm.com. Check out the 101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire. It's a great documentary. More coming up.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Hey, Dave, you in for golf this weekend?
I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you to the best pros for the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm.
If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Hey, you can take control of the airwaves here. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450. Free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username is lrn.fm. How would you like to save 20% on your purchases at Amazon? Well,
sounds good.
It's good. Sounds too good to be true, actually. But it's actually true. And I say this from personal experience. I've done it. And I've done it more than 100 times in the last 3 years. In fact, I've saved more than 20% on some occasions. Most recently, the purchase I made was 33% off. Now, a chunk of the 33% ends up going to saveatpurse.com. So you actually don't save all 33%. You'll save on a 33% thing, you probably save 28% after all's said and done. But you're still saving a huge amount of money off of your normal Amazon prices, which on their own are pretty decent. Amazon's got some pretty good prices on things. But go ahead and knock another 20% off at minimum. I won't go lower than 20% unless I'm desperate for something and I need it as soon as possible. Because usually 20% off, I'll get that item ordered for me within 24 hours. Usually within 12 hours. Of having put it up at 20% off. So what it is, you choose your discount and you use cryptocurrency like Bitcoin BTC or Bitcoin Cash, because now saveatpurse.com accepts Bitcoin Cash natively on the site. You use your cryptocurrency, and that's how you get these incredible discounts, because somebody on the other end wants your crypto so bad they're willing to pay 20% on top of the price of cryptocurrency of whatever Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash in order to get you the product that you want on Amazon. So they buy you your product that you want and send it to you as a gift, and then you release the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash from the escrow on the site. It's so easy to do. It's a few extra steps. You'd have to put a little bit more effort into this than, just ordering something on Amazon.
Sure.
But nothing's free in the world, so you spend a couple extra steps, you get 20% off. Well worth it. I do it all the time. Pretty much everything I order from Amazon, I get through saveatpurse.com, because why wouldn't you want 20% off? This is a perfect reason to get Bitcoin Cash and to get into the world of cryptocurrency. If you don't do anything else with crypto besides save 20% at Amazon, you've done pretty good. If you think about it.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. Definitely worth it for the larger purchases too. So, I mean, say for instance,
I've bought $10, $20 purchases.
I know you have.
Yeah.
But sometimes
it adds up.
It does. Saving $1 or $2 is a savings. There's no doubt. But
plus, sometimes they'll send it to you on Amazon Prime shipping, so you'll even get it quickly.
That's true.
Yep.
But sometimes they'll renege on the order, and
it's rare.
Yeah. Well, it used to be more.
It hasn't happened in a while for me.
Used to be more common than it was than it is now, perhaps. But and you got to ask yourself, is that $2 worth it? Getting it quickly and those kinds of things. So definitely worth it on the bigger purchases.
Yeah, I do it for everything. Go to saveatpurse.com, saveatpurse.com. As we continue here, let's go to the phones and to Dave on the line in California, listening to KGOE in Eureka. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey,
what's in it for me again, Dave?
I find myself, I like the whole free enterprise. Honest competition sounds like probably the most credible of ways to go. But what I'm seeing firsthand is that it is a system in which it becomes all too easy to cheat. We have now, I guess, a population where 97, 98% of the people struggle a bit. We don't make so much money that we can have anything we want. We can't afford often the kind of health care that we really want. We don't have limousines and private jets. But there is a small fraction of people that have all that. So when it comes to an election, I find myself wondering, why does the 98% vote exclusively to benefit this 2% out there, the 1%, so that they have 51% of the vote? And I'm very suspicious that some of these corporate giants, Eisenhower warned us, corporate greed was going to be the death of us if we let it happen. And it does happen. They can take what they want and lie to us. They can get into our electronic computers, phones, into our voting machines and cheat. So if they end up owning the congressman and the senator and the White House, it's not a fair ball game.
Well, right. How is anybody but the 1% supposed to even get into this game?
Say it again.
I said, how is anybody supposed to get in? You talked about how, this could change, or why the people are voting for these, 1%ers or whatever. It's like, well, how could anybody besides a 1%er, somebody who's incredibly wealthy and well-connected, become a player in politics? How could that even happen? The rules are written by them.
If they can own talk radio, if they can own TV, and if they can convince people who are gullible that, it would be totally un-American not to vote to screw yourself at the election box. And that happens. But,
it happens a lot.
I don't want to say that we're all stupid, but I think there's enough. Stupid goes on both sides, and they tend to cancel each other out. Thinking voters should carry the elections. And that is to say,
I wish it was true.
Well, you can't do an intelligence test before you let somebody vote.
No, but I want to have it where everybody should have some kind of health insurance, even if they push the wrong button, even if they don't know it. They, too, get into auto accidents. They, too, develop growths and cancers and whatnot. And
so the problem with the one-size-fits-all health insurance mandates are that now you've got the 1% that you just, were rightfully pointing out, they're not the nicest group of folks. They're going to take advantage of people. Now they're going to run the healthcare system. Is that really what you want?
No, I do not want that at all. I want to find honest ways, and you guys are some thinking people, that we can make it work in a way that benefits.
Dave, I understand where you're coming from. I feel your pain on it. I don't know that it is possible. I really do believe that money and power, as long as there's going to be power, money is going to get it. That it is. That it's a fantasy, to my mind, that it's a fantasy that we're going to have power and that somehow it's going to be wielded by those who don't have money. Like, I just haven't seen where that's ever existed anywhere. Well,
go
ahead.
You should, because if you visit Europe, all over Europe, everybody has a decent place to live. Everybody has health insurance.
So
everybody has a decent place.
They don't make as much money as we do. The standard of living in the United States is better than it is in Europe. But I will say this is that, in Europe, they pay a lot for it in taxes. And secondarily, that the wealthy want that there for whatever reason. They're getting what the wealthy want in those places. Those are the decisions they've made. That isn't the poor people getting
somehow.
What they want.
I doubt
the wealthy people.
Wealthy people are going to subject themselves to the government healthcare system. They're likely going on, what do they call it, the medical vacation, medical tourism, where you go to an
Bangkok.
actual private healthcare and you pay nothing compared to what you would pay in a private care situation wherever you live. Dave, thank you for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The answer, of course, to the healthcare problem isn't to have the government have a one-size-fits-all solution for people. It's to get the government out of healthcare. But, of course, neither the Republicans nor the Democrats are going to talk about that. Nobody is going to seriously propose that answer because, well, that would be the best solution, to allow the marketplace to actually work with real competition in the market, where they don't have to beg permission from some government bureaucracy, from some government regulatory agency which is run by that 1%. Who's running the regulatory agencies? The people who are in charge of the biggest healthcare companies, the people who are the lobbyists, the people who, of course, are not you and I. More coming up here in moments. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. If we had a free market in healthcare, costs would go down, service would go up. That's how freedom works.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Kiss your credit card debt goodbye. I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and myself want to show you how to achieve financial peace, creating an extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
A cool guy from middle school is still sporting his fat pair of Jinkos. A stunned St. Peter's Square crowd hears the Pope getting bitched out by God, and an 8th grader caked in makeup is probably really confident. This is The Onion Week in Review. This week, a Pew Research Center poll found that the vast majority of Americans would watch a television show called Love Trap, with most saying that regardless of the show's genre or quality, they would tune in weekly to see its stars stumble into romantic triangles, double-cross one another, and contend with whatever the titular love trap refers to. The survey confirmed that 62% of Americans would likely watch Love Trap to see a shrewd but cold-hearted Southern belle named Tammy. 23% of the nation hoped the show would be referred to as The Trap by its most loyal fans, and 15% of respondents said they simply needed something to watch. And in this week's science news, a biologist completes a 5-minute study of the pathetic organism in his mirror. In other news, a man confidently hits send on the worst job application a company has ever seen.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free to bring up whatever you want. In these remaining moments, we might have enough time for you to get on the line now at 450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we'll continue with your calls and thoughts. Ian and Mark in the studio here tonight. Don't forget, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com. If you like what we do on Free Talk Live, that is to say, talk about the ideas of liberty and peace and cryptocurrency here.
And let anybody call in.
Yeah, and open
express their
phones.
opinion.
7 nights per week on approximately 190 radio stations around the country. If you like what we do, please join the AMP program and help us do more of it. Help us get on more radio stations. Help us do outreach to more internet listeners. Mark, you were telling me that our downloads on the podcast are actually up significantly, like one of the biggest months of the year so far. And I'm thinking maybe that has to do with the fact that we started doing some internet advertising. We did the Tom Woods Show. We've done the Lava Flow podcast as well. So we've put some of the AMP dollars into promoting Free Talk Live in other libertarian podcasts. So in addition to marketing to radio stations, we want to get more listeners on board with the internet version of the show. That's just my speculation. It's the thing that's changed, right? Like, we don't change a whole lot. We're in radio. So it's the thing that's changed over the last 2 months, and you've seen the numbers go up. So maybe this is working. I would like to continue doing more internet advertising. I'd like to do Penn Jillette's podcast. That's like the ultimate goal.
That'd make a real difference.
It would be huge. Penn Jillette, you know, the magician, the comedian magician guy, he's great, talented dude. He's been doing a podcast now for many years, and he gets like 500,000 downloads per episode. We get like 3,000 downloads per episode. So he's
3 to 5, yeah,
way bigger than Free Talk Live, and therefore would cost a lot more money than some of the guys we're, like Roger Paxton from the Lava Flow. Great guy, great show, but he's also pretty new. So none of us in the libertarian world come close to Penn's podcast. There's just no other podcast that even comes close. So would love to get on there, but it's going to cost like $1,500 for an episode. So we would need to get a heck of a lot more in the AMP program. Right now, the AMP program's over $2,000 per month. We would need to hit $3,000, $3,500 per month to be able to do one show a month on, Penn's podcast. So please, if you like the idea of Free Talk Live getting out there more, then help us out. It's $5 a month. You get some perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only podcast for you, the AMP-only chat rooms on our Discord server, and more. Please go to amp.freetalklive.com. Take just a moment. You can use your credit card. You can use PayPal. You can use Bitcoin, BTC, and get on board with the AMP program, get the cool perks, and you help us spread the ideas of freedom. amp.freetalklive.com. Nobody in the libertarian movement is doing it on the radio at the level that we are. Penn's show is only a podcast. So we've got, certainly have a lot more radio listeners than we do podcast listeners.
Sure.
We probably have a few 100,000 of radio listeners. And so if you want to help us do more, then please amp the show at ampamp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to My Dog Rex. He's on the line in Florida, listening online via the TuneIn app. Go ahead, My Dog Rex.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey.
We were talking about free trade. And I just wanted to point out some of the fantastic things these United States do to prevent any free trade whatsoever. And I would rather have open trade, not free trade.
What's the difference?
So we have the Republic. Open trade, free seems like there's somebody making determinations. Where open is between me and you, there's no interference whatsoever.
Huh. Okay, I've never heard that discrepancy. Go on.
But we have the Democratic and Republican church corporations that prevent any open or free trade. We have the...
I've never heard of these Democratic,
Reserve.
Republican church organizations. I don't know what we're talking about.
The Democrat must be a religion. Republican must be a religion.
I see.
They got to be churches and their corporations.
You're calling them churches. All right. Because people believe in them based on faith, not based on their actions. That's for sure.
We got the Federal Reserve Bank, only one bank out of 50 states. We got the Bank of North Dakota. So we have two different banks out of 50 states. So much for free trade. If I want to mow lawns, I have to get, 1,500 permits. I forget what it takes to get arrested for selling orange juice on the side of the road or lemonade. The United States is so much about freedom and free trade. It's just, it's bliss. I just enjoy it so much.
My dog Rex, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts tonight. I appreciate it. Let's continue. We got Michael. He's on the line in Virginia. Michael, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian and Mark.
Thank you. Donald Trump's idea of free and fair trade is evidenced by his action. His idea is you allow the atheistic communists to enslave all the Christians of Eastern and Central Europe for 74 years, and then you divide up all of the government-owned industries with a handful of thugs, and then you allow them to invest in Donald Trump properties, primarily in the United States as their preference, but anywhere in the world that they want to invest in Donald Trump properties, and then you keep that all secret from the Christians that you fool into voting for you by somehow either bribing or blackmailing Jerry Falwell Jr. into giving you an endorsement. That's his idea of free trade and fair trade.
This is the conspiracy, right, that Donald Trump has teamed up with the Russians in order to...
He certainly did some business over there. I mean, I don't think anyone's arguing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he estimates his wealth at $10 billion, believe me, he's controlling vastly more than that, and it was stolen from the cold, dead hands of Christians all over Europe.
Trump stole billions of dollars from Christians who are dead in Europe? How did that work?
Comrade Melania and Comrade Donald's cronies in Russia stole it from the cold, dead hands of Christians and got a liar lawyer who happened to have the same name as a Baptist preacher from Lynchburg, Virginia, got him to endorse Donald Trump, and that's his idea of free trade. You can't know how many hundreds of billions of dollars this international criminal gang has stolen.
So,
you're not allowed to know that.
So is Trump a communist?
Comrade Melania has been a communist all her life. She converted Donald Trump to communism.
Aren't you a socialist?
No, I'm not a socialist.
No? Okay, because I recognize your
realist.
voice. You sound like
I'm a realist.
You're a realist.
This is Michael in Virginia Beach. I call you frequently.
Right. You've always kind of come off as a bit of a left-leaning person. You said so you wouldn't describe yourself as a socialist. You don't believe that from each according to his ability to each according to his need?
No. I don't believe. Oh, I'll tell you what I believe in. I believe in what Larry and one of your other callers say. We shouldn't be doing business with countries that enslave their populations and use them to create manufactured goods and sell them here. I believe what Larry
So you agree with Donald Trump's protectionist trade barriers and tariffs?
No. This is no protectionist. They have robbed all of Eastern and Central Europe's Christians, and they are enriching him and hiding.
Boy, those Christians sure are easily duped, huh? I mean, they get robbed by Trump, and then they supported, their buddies supported him for re-election or for election?
People are easily duped. That's what the powerful do. They not only use their money to dominate the airways, but they use their cleverness to lie to people and deceive them in ways that they cannot be easily found out.
I agree with you. The people in power should not be trusted. So shouldn't we then just go ahead and decentralize power and abolish the United States federal government?
That is going to be done. That's
Excellent.
going to be done.
I'm glad we agree. Thank you for the call, Michael. I look forward to the day when the United States federal government is completely dissolved. But in the meantime, hopefully New Hampshire will be the first state to secede from the U.S., although maybe California, Texas, Vermont, those are all three good contenders for secession.
I think the federal government should be an agreement between states for a free trade agreement between states.
How's that working out?
I think so, what it should be.
All right, so out of time for tonight. If you didn't get on the air with us, well, that's okay. We've got a whole other show tomorrow, the live Sunday edition, at that time, and we will join you then online. In the meantime, you can join us over at freetalklive.com. Don't forget to check out our Discord chat 24/7 over at discord.lrn.fm. Have a great weekend.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a